Hi, everyone. My name is Adriana, and I do product at How Are You, a holistic solution for running one-to-one meetings with your engineering teams. And I'm here today with the wonderful Hila, who's a senior DevOps engineer at Wix.com. Hi, Hila. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. And could you just introduce yourself? Who are you, and what do you do?
Sure. So yeah, I'm Hila. I'm a senior DevOps engineer currently working for Wix. For those of you who don't know, it's a company that provides a platform for building websites for tech-savvy people or not. I'm in the tech industry for the last 15 years. I consider myself an advocate for open source, so I talk about it a lot and trying to amplify this realm as much as possible. I'm a public speaker about DevOps and other stuff related. And I'm also a co-organizer of DevOps Days Tel Aviv, which is the largest DevOps Days event in the entire universe. So that's fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hila. And I'm curious, what sparked your interest in technology? Were you always into tech?
I would say yes, because I remember myself as a kid, 12 years old, going around with floppy disks and installing stuff on my friends' computers. So yeah, I was always drawn to it. I think my brother was the one to introduce me to this world. And then I actually continued and he stopped. And I always was drawn to it and just kept going with it.
Okay, yeah. So we've mentioned floppy disks. That's quite a retro thing right now. How have you seen?
How old I am by that.
And how have you seen the tech industry change over your career? So what are the biggest changes that you've seen happen?
So I would say that the technology really evolves based on the demand that we see arise. So for example, we recently heard about security stuff and security issues that are being more and more in the center of things. And then more products have emerged that's supposed to fix those issues, like supply chain products and stuff like that. So I would say that technology really evolves and evolves fast based on the high demand of issues and the subjects that we see present in our day-to-day.
Okay, so just the speed of things happening is kind of very hard for us really to sort of foresee what's going to happen with the whole industry in a few years. So that's really exciting. I think one of the most exciting things about tech for me personally. What would you say just as a woman in tech? I know you're a co-organizer in BAOT, right? For those of us then don't know and had to Google this like me, it's an Israeli organization for women in tech. Could you maybe speak to what it is, in your opinion, that's the most the biggest upside to women creating this sort of spaces for support and community?
Yes, first of all, the name of the community is BAOT, which is a Hebrew word for come to. So this is how the community started. We wanted ability to come to meetups with someone because we didn't want to be the only woman in the room. So this is how it started. And then once we saw we can make a lot of great impact out of it, we shortened it to just BAOT, just come, because a lot of programs come to perform lectures, come to conferences and do lectures, come to write blog posts in technology blog posts. So whatever you can in order to put yourself out there, that's why we have programs for each one, and then we help the women achieve that. So that's why BAOT is just a word for come to, which basically for us means just put yourself out there. So so I would say it is an everlasting challenge to help women progress and put themselves out there, because we are different than men in how we approach things. And for example, I think there's a very known study, I don't know by who, but people that if we see job descriptions, right, when we want to apply to jobs, men will apply to these jobs if they fit 50% of the job description. Whereas women needs to be between themselves, right? They need to fit 80 or 90% in order for them to apply. We have differences, and I think that the differences are being amplified by the fact that we have some sort of a silent agreement that from childhood, computers is more fit for men or kids, and women should do stuff that are more soft. We see that from childhood, again, at least from my childhood, and I think we are progressing, and we see more and more women integrate in computer science studies. But I believe we still have a very long way to go in order to really achieve equality between everyone.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like in your career that you have been treated like equally, or has there been sort of like a secret glass ceiling to what you had to prove about yourself in tech?
Yeah, I believe I personally have changed throughout the years in a way that I became more like decisive and very like I need to be more to know exactly what I'm doing, or present this facade. Feels like I need to be more certain and more with confidence when I come to the table, right, and present things in order for me to taken seriously. When I just started out my career, I had a lot of remarks of, I'm not gonna, we can talk about it afterwards, but okay. I had a lot of remarks of that I would like put my money that they wouldn't dare to say it to a man, okay? I definitely felt it throughout my career, and I definitely have changed. Like not being a bad person or something, but just emphasizing more of the qualities that I have, amplifying them, and being more confident in order for them to see, okay, she knows what she's talking about, and that way they treat me as equal. And if people don't treat me as equal, I'm in a place in my career and in my life that I know how to straighten these things out. I'm gonna put them in their place, and they wouldn't repeat this mistake again. So yeah, I believe we have a lot of things in our careers, and I see it from other women in the community as well, that we have a lot of challenges in this area, and we need to, that's why we have this community, to help to support each other, to not only support by giving advice, but also support like, yeah, I had that as well, this sucks, and we are here for you, and we know that you're good, and they have their own challenges of why they do this and blah blah blah, but well, that's a very good support system, and it really, really helps.
Thank you for this. So one thing, as you've mentioned, is like having all your ducks in a row and really coming to the table knowing what you know, and that you know what you know. And that's like one of your advice. But do you have any other advice for especially women who want to start off in tech and maybe start doing DevOps? Do you have anything that you wish you had known when you were younger?
So specifically for DevOps, usually in job interviews they ask like, please share with us a project that you did, and then because they want to see all the moving parts, and for me to explain them the technical details of stuff that I implemented. And if you're just starting out, you probably didn't do something at work, right? Because you haven't practiced it yet. But still, you can do a side project of a DevOps project, aka a CI/CD for a certain app, like deploy it to production, which is your environment, and then also set up monitoring and all the necessary parts. And then even if you don't have the necessary job experience, you still have the project that you did on the side, and you can talk about that. And this gives you even credit points because they see that you did it on your spare time, aka you really want that. So this is in regards to job interview. And in regards to specifically being a woman that wants to go to DevOps, just do it. I mean, don't listen to anyone that says, no, you can't do it, or it's too complicated. We are women, we can do anything. So if this is something that interests you, or even if you're not sure if it interests you, go speak with other DevOps ladies and ask what do they do in their day-to-day, and see if it's something that could interest you. And if so, just go at it, build a project, start to interview, use any connections that you have, because this industry really relies on connections. So if you have any connections, and when I say any, I mean any, like from preschool, okay, go talk to him. People wouldn't say, no, we didn't smoke for 10 years, so no, I'm not gonna help you. It's not like that. Usually if it doesn't hurt them they want to help because it's good karma, So use any connections that you have, and finally, eventually you'll make it.
Awesome. That's really good advice, actually, about like just taking advantage of every connection that you have. I feel like that's really good advice for me as well. Okay, so
wait, I remembered something else. And also, the good thing is to create new connections as well, because you never know what will happen. So if there are any meetups in your area that could help beneficial, it could be beneficial for you, like for meeting new people and networking and mingling, do it. Go. Even if you're still not in any workplace currently, because you can meet someone, you will hit it off like in a friendly way, and then maybe they will help you, right? So any opportunities, not only existing connections, but any opportunities to create new connections, just go at it.
Thank you. Okay, Hila. So our product is a solution for running one-to-one meetings, and therefore it is only correct if I ask you. So you attend one-on-ones with your manager, right? And so what would you say is like the best practice you've seen a manager do during a one-to-one? What was like your top-notch one-to-one experience?
When it's really one-to-one and not one.
Mm-hmm.
AKA when not only the manager speaks or brings stuff to the table, but when he asks, if you don't have it in you, like to say, wait, I also want to say something. At least if your manager says, okay, I covered what I wanted to say, do you have something to say? Do you want to speak about anything? And this shows you that your manager is really open to listen and not only cares about his agenda, right? His or her. So yeah, it should be a two-way street.
So on that note, what's your best tip to prepare for a one-to-one? Like, how do you get the most out of one?
It really depends on what you have to bring to the agenda. If it's something that you want and you're not sure it will be approved, like you want to prepare for a job raise request, or you want to, like in my case, I travel a lot for conferences, so I want to say, hey, I have another conference next week, and I know it wasn't planned, so I will check how can I make it happen for both sides. So for example, if I know there's a certain project that needs to be that waits to be happen, and next week I'm going to a conference, I know that I will tell them that, hey, I'm gonna deliver my talk, but on the rest of the time I'm gonna work on my laptop and in order to meet the deadlines. So basically meet the other person halfway, because I want to make sure our both interests will come to play. So preparation is just first understanding what do you want to achieve out of this talk, then just think how you can sweeten the deal, like you said, like how can I make it work, and so both of our agendas and our interests will get implemented.
What excites you the most about your work right now? What do you like the most about your work?
Variety of things that I can do. DevOps is a very, very wide field. I can do a lot of things, and I have a lot of challenges doing each and everything that I can do. So I'm not bored, that's for sure.
Okay, so that's really cool. And what are the things that you're most proud of in your career?
I would say projects that allowed me to express my abilities. So I had a project that I actually have a talk about it in a conference as well, about a migration I did from a Bitbucket cloud to self-hosted GitLab. So I did basically everything on my own, both the project planning, escalations, help from cross teams that have responsibilities for specific stuff for integrations, of course the implementation itself with Terraform and all the repositories migration. So I did everything by myself, And I was proud of that because I mean, I knew I could do it. But still to see that I'm gonna meet deadlines and work with a lot of, cross teams, because I needed like the LDAP integration from this team, and I needed network firewall openings from this team. So the ability to make everyone do whatever I want, even though it's not in their priority, right? Because my first priority is this project, but they have other things and other tasks in their pipelines. So you need to really be a very good communicator and like lead without authority to make people do and help you, even if it's not in their priority. So I really love this project because it allowed me to showcase a lot of my capabilities, not only technical, but also the soft ones.
Awesome. Hila, thank you so much for talking to me today, for finding time to talk to me today. Is there anything or anyone you'd like to shout out or promote?
I also co-manage communities for DevOps and for open source in Facebook. So my co-managers, Gil Bahat was the one to found this very important community, and Michal Porag is the co-manager with me in open source. So as you can see, we are all ladies, which is good because we really understand. I mean, I can speak only about, us. We understand the importance of community, and that's why we really invest our time, our free time, right? It's not, nobody pays us. We invest our time in promoting these communities because we see the impact that we have and that the community members have being in a community, and also in BAOT, which is, wow, I can speak about BAOT for hours. So yeah, I would shout out them because they are doing a very important work.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Another one. I want to shout Sharon Zitzman and Jeremy Hess we are three of us are co-organizers of the DevOps Days Tel Aviv. We had the last one on November. We all kicked ass and just worked a lot relentlessly to make this conference be as it is. We had more than 1,500 people attended. So it is pretty crazy. So they deserve, and especially, and Jeremy would agree, especially Sharon. Sharon is like a force of nature, really. So and she's very very well known in the DevOps community, like globally. So yeah, she totally deserves that as well.
Hila, thank you so much for talking to me today, for finding the time to talk to me today again. This was an awesome interview. I've learned a lot, especially about the importance of community and the stuff that you've spoken to. I definitely agree. So thank you again. And yeah, is there...
No, I'm just happy to be here, and thanks for you, the audience, for listening. If you want to follow me on Twitter or LinkedIn, we will have links whenever it gets published. So you're more than welcome to reach out or follow, because I publish more content both on DevOps world, but also on more soft stuffs like incident management and other things. So yeah, so thanks for being with us.
Yeah, all of the links are below, and thank you again for watching. Goodbye.